Nivedita Joshi is here by taking a new video on control and coordination. This is a topic of science of class 10th. So in this video we will study especially the unit of nervous system, that is neuron, and the transmission of nerve impulse. Basically these two things we will study, and the smaller topics like structure and function of the neurons, these all we will study. So first we will begin ki what is the need for the system of control and coordination in animals. So if we take the example like that ki in our body there are different organs, and they need to work in coordination. Means whenever we perform any activity like we are taking food, that time our eyes help in locating the food, our nose detects the smell, our hand brings food to mouth, then jaws they help in chewing, salivary glands they secrete saliva, and so on. Means all these work together, they just go on in coordination. So that's why this coordination is needed. It is needed to maintain the state of stability as well as steady state. Steady state between the internal condition of our body with the external environment. That is why this is very important and need in animals' body. Now, in animals, there is a nervous system for control and coordination, and that muscular tissues also help in this coordination. Means overall, nervous and muscular tissues, they provide control and coordination in the body. All the information from our environment, they are detected by the specialized tips of some nerve cells. As I told you that the nerve cells are the unit of nervous system, so they play very important role. So they have the tips, and these tips are the receptors. These are the receptors, and these cells are located in sense organs. Sense organs, we have the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and our skin. So these nerve cells are located there, means which are acting as a receptor. Okay, receptors function means to receive the stimulus. Stimulus is a very is a word which you have gone in very earlier classes like 4th, 5th, and there you have studied. So stimulus, they will be received by the receptors. Like we have the example of gustatory receptors. We have that detects the taste, and olfactory receptors are there, means they are present in the nose and they will detect smell. So these are the examples. Now in this slide you can see the diagram or picture of a neuron, which is a unit of nervous system. So this is a longest cell of the body, and in the diagram you can see longest cell of the body, and that's why it is making the connection and taking the information from one part of the body to another part. So maximum length it can have of 1 meter. So it is having three main parts. One is cell body. This you can see in the diagram. This cell body is flat, round, and it is having the nucleus, cytoplasm, and cytoplasm consisting of so many things like mitochondria, Golgi apparatus, Nissls granules, neurofibrils, etc. And it gives off some projections. The cytosol gives off some very fine branched projections, and these projections are called as the dendrites. And then there is a very long cylindrical structure, the second part, and that structure is called as the axon. On the axon you can see there is one more layer. We call that layer as a medulated or myelin sheath. We call that as myelin sheath. And there are the last part of the nerve cell that is present at its terminal. So that terminal is having some round knob like structure. They are called as the terminal buttons of nerve endings, and these buttons or nerve endings have some vacuoles which consisting of some special chemicals. We will study about that chemical further. So these are the three main parts: cell body, axon, and the dendrites. These are the three main parts. Okay. Now this is the description of the parts, what I told you. Now how the neuron functions. Its function is to carry information over long distances in the body of a person, and the information means the impulse that travel from the dendrites to cell body and then to axon, and it will reach to the end. This is the flow of information, means dendrites to nerve endings. This is the direction. So and then at the when there are two adjacent nerve fibers, there is a very small gap, and that gap is called as the synapse. Okay, so information will be traveling from one neuron to the other up to the concerned part of the body, and this way means neuron to neuron information will be transmitted. Now synapse. What is synapse? We will begin what is synapse and how the information are transmitted at synapse. So synapse is a junction between the two adjacent neuron, that is between the means first neurons ending and the next one's dendrite. The gap, small gap, is called as that junction is called as the synapse. And at the synapse, as I told you, this is a very small gap. So how the impulse will travel, or how the impulse will cross this gap? So what happens when the impulse travels from the dendrites to the cyton body and then through the along the length of the axon, and it reaches to its end. At the end of the axon, the electrical impulse sets off the release of some chemicals. I told you in the nerve endings there present some vesicles and have special chemicals. We call those chemicals as neurotransmitters. So neurotransmitters are there, means the information is converted into chemical information, and then these chemicals diffuse and cross the gap and again start a similar electrical impulse in a dendrite of the next neuron, and this way the information pass on to next nerve fiber. Now the types of neurons. So neurons are means the bases are different. If we talk of on the basis of presence of myelin sheath, then the neurons are of two types. One is medulated nerve fiber. Yes, we call the neuron as nerve fiber because the cell is long like a fiber. So to the neuron we can call it as a nerve fiber. So the nerve fibers having myelin sheath are called as medulated, and those which do not have myelin sheath are called as non-medulated one. And more types of neurons are there on the basis of flow of information as well. Those which carry the information from the receptors to the brain or to the spinal cord, they are called as the sensory nerve fiber. And those which bring the answer from the brain to the effector part, they are called as motor nerve fiber. So there the basis is changed. That is the direction of the transmission of impulse. So in this diagram, you can see the nerve endings are in contact of muscle fiber. Means the information, the muscle fiber will be the effector one, the part which has to work as per the information received. So that is the effector. So in this we can have how about the neuromuscular junction. This is called as the neuromuscular junction, where the nerve endings meets with the muscle. Now you have a small assignment you can try for this.